We are the mean girls. You just said that. I'm going to stop repeating the things you say. You just talk.
You can repeat it. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Rebecca.
You can find me on Ravelry as Heyitsstephanie, and you can find me on Instagram as Heyitsstephanie05.
And I'm Heyitsrebecca on Ravelry and Heyitsrebeccah on Instagram. We have an Instagram for our podcast. This light is not being kind to my face, guys. I hope you're like all just knitting along on your projects and listening to us today because, oh gosh, I look a mess. Anyway, we have a podcast. We have an Instagram for our podcast. That didn't really work out. And we have a Ravelry group.
We do. The Mean Girls Knit.
The Mean Girls Knit. Have you checked that recently?
I did a few days ago, but I have not. I didn't take notes on it.
So
we'll get better at it, guys. December was crazy. Between
crazy.
Christmas and Thanksgiving and my sister's wedding, family in town, it was just...
Birthdays. Molly
yeah.
had a birthday on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of a crazy... And I have another daughter coming up, and she's got a birthday in like 5 days. So it's been crazy. But we finally got a chance to get together and escape all the madness and do a podcast. Yeah. So you might hear the noise of the kids. They're not in the same room with us.
No, but
they will.
Yeah, you might be able to hear them. I don't have thin walls. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Better than holding them, I think, in my lap and like trying to keep her.
Yeah.
Kind of quiet.
And the lighting is bad. I kind of have a dark room, but the weird thing is it's super super sunny outside. It's cold.
Super sunny.
But it's so sunny, so the light is just blinding. As soon as we open up the curtain, it's just.
But it's kind of a dark room. Like, the lighting's not good, and it's just not good.
I have a dark room.
This is what you get. Like, people have been messaging me, like, oh, when are you going to come back and do another podcast? Well, this is for you. You're welcome. Don't complain about my lighting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can.
Tried. Okay, so.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long.
It's been so long.
You guys had a great holiday time. I've missed you guys so much. I miss podcasting.
I did too. And I felt bad when people were like, oh, when are you going to do it again? And I'm like, I don't know. As soon as I can. But so we did not bring a whole lot to show because if I brought everything I'd been working on in the last 6 weeks, this would go on for hours. And, we're not going to do that. So we just brought the highlights. This is the best of episode.
Best of the last month.
Best of the last month. So, I am wearing a finished object.
So beautiful.
It needs no introduction. I finished this finally. And it's my Building Blocks shawl by Stephen West. We both made one. I finally finished. I made the large size. It's amazing.
That's the backward. That's the back.
And it's reversible.
It's reversible.
I wear it, however, honestly. I wore it backwards. I went to the yarn store today wearing it backwards. If they noticed, they didn't care.
I just love it.
I made the large size. I powered through. Because here's the thing. By the time I got done with the small size, the next clue came out. And he was like, oh, bind off or whatever. Knit another thing. And I was like, oh, I want to be done with this. And it was so tempting to make a small size or a medium size. But I knew that if I made a medium or a small, I would regret it. Pretty much for the rest of my life. But if I knit the large, I would regret it for as long as it took me to knit. And I was like, the regret and the shame will be, or like the self-loathing will be shorter.
Like you did
I did a 2-color bind off, and those colors match all of this. It's Edison Bulb and Plunge in Madeline Tosh, and then it is Knit Picks in Thunderstorm and Panther for the gray and the black. So that's it. I am in love with this. I never wear my shawls in public, ever. And I wear this one in public all the time. And what's weird is that I don't wear my shawls in public a lot because I'm always thinking, oh, people are going to think, oh, what's wrong with her and her shawls? Why is that weird girl wearing shawls? But I'll tell you what, I've worn this in public a handful of times. You know how many people have mentioned it? No. 0. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you and what you wear. They're thinking about themselves and what they're wearing. You know how many times I wore this and then noticed what somebody else was wearing? 0 times, because I don't care. Anyway, but it is long. And so what I do is I actually have tied the ends in a loose knot to make it a little bit shorter. Like it's some kind of design feature. So then when I wear it, I wrap it around. Like so. And because the ends are knotted, they're a little bit shorter. And it just makes it a little bit more manageable. But I wear it all the time. I love it. I think it looks good on me. If you don't think it looks good on me, you can keep that to yourself and let me live my fantasy.
I love it.
I think it's fantastic. I love it. And I used the needle size he called for, but I think it's great. And it's really warm and soft, and it makes me ridiculously happy to have this big bright scarf going on. So there you go, building blocks. I love it. Would I knit it again? Absolutely not. It was miserable. I love it. I love the pattern. I love the way it looks. I love everything about it. Knitting it was a marathon, and I am pretty over it. So I won't be knitting anything else from this collection. I'm gonna love the crap out of this. Not so much the accessories.
Yeah, I loved it. I finished mine too. As woo, it's got fringe.
Yeah, weaving in the ends was.
Is that the right side? Yeah. Okay.
Awful.
So I've only woven ends for section A or the clue one. They're not there.
It's gorgeous.
This is gorgeous. So I got all my fringe. I haven't worn mine yet because the fringe.
Because the fringe.
It's there, but I absolutely love it. I finished mine on New Year's Eve. My goal was to have it done before New Year's, and
I finished mine on New Year's Eve too.
Was that on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I think so. Because, or maybe it was the day before.
Day before.
December 30th. Because I wanted to be done for the New Year.
Yeah. So I finished mine on New Year's Eve at Rebecca's house. I only did the one color bind off.
Slacker.
Yeah, kind of, but I feel like, I would have done the bind off would have been in the blue and the yellow, and I feel like the blue just gets lost when it's right next to the yellow. So I just decided to do just the one color of the yellow, which is chamomile. Madelinetosh light. It's all Madelinetosh light, so I got chamomile,
neon peach.
Neon peach.
Antique farmhouse.
Antique farmhouse.
Is that right? Or farmhouse white? Something like that.
It's farmhouse white. Farmhouse white, and then the blue is, oh no.
What is that blue? Oh, I know. I pride myself on always remembering colorway names. Havana. I am so bad about. Thank God I have you. I tried to remember.
I do not remember. I'm so bad about names.
I love words, and I love the names that people come up with for their yarn, and so I pay close attention. And honestly, it honestly can make or break a yarn for me. If I see a yarn that I think is hideous, but it's named something incredibly clever, I'm like, oh, I gotta get that. That is so funny. But the most beautiful blue in the world can be completely ruined when they name it denim. Sorry, I refuse to buy anything called denim. It just isn't gonna happen.
I'm the same way. I will buy a yarn based on the name. I just don't ever remember the names. I'm like, oh, this was a really cool name.
I saw this sock yarn at Rainy Day Yarns that she dyed herself. And it was like around Christmas. And it was like kind of not boring, but it just wasn't that interesting. It wasn't something that I would go, oh wow, that's amazing, right? Like it was just whatever, it's just sock yarn. But she named it Ugly Christmas Sock. And I was like, oh my God. I know. Like that is the funniest thing. Next year, if she has it, I swear I'm going to get some and make like Ugly Christmas thigh highs. Because that's what I want to do.
Have fun with your thigh highs.
Maybe I'll make an Ugly Christmas sweater out of Ugly Christmas sock yarn.
Ooh.
I'm going to knit an Ugly Christmas sweater this year. That is my goal. I want to knit like a worsted weight sweater out of some red and green and white variegated yarn. I might buy some and dye it myself or something. I don't know.
That would make it even better. We should do that.
Right?
All right. Okay. Anyways, so I knit the large also. I loved making this. I loved every minute of it. Like Rebecca, do not plan on knitting the accessories. Will not knit another one. The pattern was, I enjoyed it, but it was, for having so many stitches on the needles, it just wasn't mindless enough. Like, I had to pay attention to where I was, slide the markers.
I still have a stitch marker on mine somewhere.
Did you knit one into it?
Yeah, I did. It's a rubber band.
Yeah.
I knit a clear rubber band into mine.
That's awesome.
And I wore it to the store. I was kind of embarrassed when I remembered because I was like, oh gosh, what if she sees my rubber band?
And I can't wait to wear it. I can't. I wear all my shawls. I wear this one. Wearing that one.
Well, good
I just
for you.
can't. But
wearing your stuff.
I gotta weave in my ends because I got all the fringe. Which honestly I'm really bad about. I have two hats, guys. My Happy Head Cozy Head and my Violet Waffles hat that you've seen in past episodes. I wear those
without the ends
at least once a week. And I have not woven in the ends. I tuck them in and put the hat on.
Like, yeah, dude, that's how you do it.
So that's how I do it. But you can't get away with that with shawls. So
anyway,
so So love.
My New Year's resolution. I am going to be a selfish knitter this year. More selfish than I was last year. Like, remember last year on this podcast when I was like, I'm going to knit all my kids' Christmas sweaters. Which, by the way, did they wear them on Christmas? No. Mine did not. I knit 5 sweaters. Some of my kids are wearing theirs today. I haven't put the buttons on. I've woven all the ends. I've blocked them. But why would my kids wear their Christmas sweaters on Christmas? That just is ridiculous. That's something organized people do. I don't do that. No, my kids wore... Oh, we had matching Christmas pajamas on Christmas. That was fun. That kind of like that. Okay, I saw the matching Christmas pajamas on Gymboree. Yes, I wore Gymboree pajamas. And it kind of just threw a wrench in my whole Christmas sweater plan because the matching Christmas pajamas were all so adorable.
They were. That was really cute.
It was adorable. Neil wore some. I wore some. They're like leggings. Super comfortable. If you get the chance to buy Gymboree pajamas for yourself, highly recommend because they are amazing and worth every penny. And hand knit sweaters are great too. Whatever. You know.
Whatever. Or you could just, spend hours in knitting a sweater. Or you could just go to Gymboree and,
buy pajamas.
But
dude, it was awesome. We as a family, like all 7 of us would wear our Christmas pajamas. Like we went and saw Christmas lights and we would sit around and watch Christmas movies in our matching. It was awesome. It was awesome. And you know what else is great? Is that wearing matching dorky clothes with your kids will prevent you from impulse shopping. So it's a money-saving tip because whenever we would go out to look at Christmas lights or do whatever we did out in public, it was like, oh, let's run to the store and grab... You know what? Let's not.
You didn't want to go to Safeway?
I had to go to Ulta. I had to go to Safeway. I'm like, you know what? I think I'll skip that shopping trip today. So there you go. There's Lessons in Frugality by Rebecca.
Cool.
This is a lifestyle podcast. By the way, I was watching a podcast the other day, and they were like, this is a podcast about knitting and spinning. And they're like, wait a minute, no, not spinning. I don't know why I said that. Like, everybody says that. It just flies off your tongue, but I don't spin. There will never be spinning. And I'm like, I have almost said that so many times.
Oh, my God. I just watched the same one because
I don't even know who it was, but it was really funny. And I was like, oh, thank you for not editing that out because...
Who was it?
I don't remember who it was.
Was it the...
I don't know.
I watched so many this week. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I was laughing because I'm like, oh.
Knitting, spinning. It all just kind of flies off your tongue. There will be no spinning.
You hear sometimes everybody spins. But
everybody spins. It's just not
us.
I bet we'd love it.
No, because I think it's awesome. People want to spin. And I see beautiful roving. I appreciate that skill craft. But I don't want to spend hours making the yarn. And then look, because I don't want to look at the yarn anymore by the time I'm done. By the time I've spun the yarn and plied it together, am I going to want to look at it even again to knit something out of?
That's a good point. But also, wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun to get like roving and then dye it and then spin it and then make something with it, and then you could literally be like, I made this from start to finish.
I think it's awesome.
But that's awesome. But I know that if I started spinning, I would enjoy it, and I would do it all the time. And then I wouldn't even knit anything because I would spin all the time.
That's what I mean.
I can only have so many hobbies. Okay, we're not all like Nancy from Round Rabbit who does literally everything fun.
Yeah. No, I'm a one-trick pony. I knit.
She did a podcast I watched today. She was doing punch embroidery, which I'd never even heard of.
Oh, I saw that on her Instagram.
It looks so good. Yes. And I was like, oh, that looks so fun. But I know that if I get started on that, it'll just be a whole rabbit hole of stuff.
I embroidered some dish towels a few years ago.
Maybe I should just stick to what
you're good at?
Good at. Or getting semi-decent at, anyway. I don't know. Anyway, I don't even have the money for all those hobbies. Knitting is where it's at for me. All right, works in progress. What do you got? We're not done with your finished objects.
I'm not done with finished objects
because we both knit the same thing.
Did you bring your book?
Again. No, I didn't. I was going to and I forgot. Okay, so go get the book. I'll tell the story.
Okay, you tell the story about the book.
Okay, so we have one acquisition this week, or this time that we brought. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't know what she brought, but anyway. So what happened was on Christmas. December 23rd, my mom called me up and she was like, hey, do you have a good idea for Stephanie for a gift for Christmas? And I was like, oh, you know what? She really wants that Stephen West book by the new one, The West Knits Best Knits. That's probably a good idea. You could probably get her that. And she's like, oh, great. But you know what? They don't sell it on Amazon, and they don't sell it at Barnes & Noble. They only sell it at yarn stores. And it's December 23rd. So I was like online trying to figure out what yarn stores were open on Christmas Eve and yarn stores that sold the book. It is really hard to podcast by yourself.
I'm coming.
Really hard. Like, people would always talk about how hard it is to podcast by yourself compared to, like, having a co-host. It's hard. Anyway, I'm going to look at the camera and also think about what I'm saying. It's just difficult. It's easier when you're here because I don't look at the camera very well. I talk to you sitting right there. Okay. It's like a FaceTiming, but you're...
Sorry, guys. I had to run and go.
Anyway, so...
Get it.
I finally found a store that was open on New Year's. Not New Year's, December 24th. I can't speak today. And not only were they open on December 24th, they had autographed copies of West Knits, Best Knits, because he just did a tour there. Go ahead and show the book. So, the problem is that this yarn store that carried this is in Portland, and we're not in Portland. We live near Olympia. Or, well, my mom and stepdad do. So anyway.
Face. Keep talking.
That's fine. So anyway, my poor dad had to get up and drive like 2 hours to Portland to the Twisted, is that right? Twisted Yarn Store. To buy this for Stephanie for Christmas. On Christmas Eve, he drove 2 hours to get this for her. Like, how great is that? It's the best gift ever. And then when he's on his way, my mom calls me and she was like, hey, do you want a copy of this book for yourself? Duh. Yes, I do. And so she bought it. She bought me one too. So they went out and got us. So we have autographed copies of the West Knits, Best Knits book. So that's how we came to acquire that. And seriously, I love this. My favorite thing about this book is that the pictures of him are really big. So I like to hold up the book like this or whatever, wherever his face is. And then like take my phone and I do like Snapchat filters so we both have fox faces together because we're besties. We're best friends. He actually liked one of my Instagram pictures. So, see, like this. See his face? And then I just, well, there's one where he's got like a bigger face. And I just like take their face pictures of us or like a face swap. I've done face swap with Stephen West. Have you ever face swap with Stephen West?
No, but I know.
Because you're not best friends. We're best friends.
I think he, you know what? He liked one of my pictures on Instagram. We're gonna be.
He liked one of my pictures on Instagram.
He liked mine first.
Anyway. So that's what I do in my spare time is Snapchat. Stephen West pictures.
The whole point, remind me of this book though, guys, is that we knit a shawl out of this book.
We did. Our very first one.
Our very first one. And
it was awesome.
And how awesome was it of my dad, you guys?
Right? That is an
autographed
awesome
gift. My family laughs at me, but I kid you not. I have a little, like, china hutch full of, like, china knick-knacky things. But you guys, Stephen West lives in there. He lives in there. You did it.
I did. I'm not even lying. Like, see? There we go. That's my picture. Oh, bad lighting. Of me and Stephen West together in our fox faces.
You really did do that? Okay, I did do it.
I did face swaps and everything. It was great. Yeah,
Anyways,
that was awesome.
So my autographed book was the best present of Christmas. And he lives in my china hutch because I don't want him to get dusty or bent or anything like that. So I, yeah, guys, he lives in my china hutch. And I like, in my living room, is just like Stephen West's face, just like, it's the best thing ever. Like
it's awesome.
Yeah, my cousin came over and she's like, "Oh my god, you really did stick that in your china hutch." Like,
yeah, I did.
I'm like, yeah, I did. There he is. No, he needs to stay great.
Mine is thrashed and well loved, and because I knit the pattern out of the book, I used the book. I didn't print it off.
Yeah, I printed it off.
Okay, well I didn't.
Well, I want my book autographed to stay pristine.
Okay, well that's nice, but when I meet Stephen West, when I meet Stephen West and I have my book, I'm gonna be like, look how much I loved your book. It's gonna be like in tatters. And he'll be like, wow, you really are my #1 fan. Let's be best friends. But you are going to be like, oh, look, here's the book I never used. And
whatever. I use it.
He will know that I love him more than you do.
I love him more than you because I respect the book.
You can buy another book.
Not with the autograph.
Well, you probably can.
I probably can, but the last time I was in Washington, I was out of town, and then the next time I was in Washington, my sister got married. This is the year of Steven, guys.
Yeah, like,
I'm going to see him. I'm going to meet him. So,
are you?
I hope to. Yeah, hopefully, like, there's no more, like, weddings and stuff. Yeah. Well, I will. I don't know when he's coming. Okay, he's in New York right now at Vogue Knitting Live.
I'm so jealous of everybody who went to Vogue Knitting Live. Man, I love the West Coast, but this is bullshit.
I know.
Sorry for saying that, if you had kids in the room.
But seriously, so jealous. I want to go to New York for Vogue Knitting Live. I would be like... Okay. My mom asked me last night. She's like, why aren't you guys there? She was like, that's a dream come true, Ma.
Did she, like, offer to pay for our plane tickets there?
No.
In our hotel?
No.
No?
Anyway.
Like, seriously, I sit around and go, gosh, can I afford yarn this month? Not like, oh, can I go to Vogue Knitting Live?
So, guys, here's my... I cut you off. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, you're fine. Dotted rays.
Here's my dotted rays. Thank you. I almost said starburst.
Dotted rays. Look at this. It's amazing. Okay, can I talk about your project more than you? Okay, thanks. This yarn is called Starry Night.
Yeah.
By Dragonfly Fibers.
I have it right here. I'm just going to start.
Yeah. But it's called Starry Night. Look how much this shawl looks like the painting, Starry Night. Come on. Seriously. That looks exactly like the painting. It is like wearing art around your neck. It is amazing. Good for you. I love it.
This yarn, because I got this yarn from Yarn Box like a few months ago, and I really liked it, but I was like, it's a single ply. I had no idea what I was going to knit with it, but once I got the book and the pattern, I was like, these two seriously went together so well. This pattern and this yarn just was like the perfect matchup.
You know what I love is that there's no real significant pooling. It's
not a lot.
Really swirly. I mean, there's a little bit here and there where it's slightly thicker than other places.
Yeah, but of the blue, but it's not like there's not.
It's not even noticeable or anything that you would like instantly.
I guess right here got a little bit of chunk of yellow.
It doesn't matter.
But
it's gorgeous.
It's not.
It's gorgeous.
It's. I knit. What did I knit? One wedge bigger than the small size, because that's all I had yarn for.
It is great. Good for you. That's fantastic.
I absolutely love it, guys. This yarn and this pattern together was just... I could not have picked a better pattern. Or a better yarn for this.
It is really nice.
It was such a fun knit. I started this January 1st. This was my first New Year's cast on, and I finished it on the 10th. 10 days.
10 days.
It flew off my needles.
It is glorious. I knit a dotted rays too.
I know. Oh my god, yours. I love yours.
If you are following me on Instagram,
but I love hers.
If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this about 75 bazillion times. Is that right? Or that's not the wrong way? No, this way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, here is my dotted rays. I can't see it, really.
I can see through the holes. You guys can kind of see.
This is my Rainbow Bright dotted rays. I love this mess. This is a hot mess of a shawl, and I think it's glorious.
Oh my god. And I'll show.
Oh, and I bound off with Edison bulb. Oh my god. Leftovers from this. It was awesome. Best decision I have made in my life, hands down. I started this on January 1st, and I finished it on January 12th, and I entered it actually into the shawl along that is being hosted by Jessica Ruth Knits.
I need to enter mine still.
And someone else, and now I feel bad. And then also, Lucky Jenny.
Yes.
And then there's the Selfish Knit Along being hosted by Crazy Sock Lady. So I entered it in both because this is totally mine. My teenage daughter was like, it reminds me of unicorns. Can I have it? No.
Yours mine. Is so big.
It's huge.
And hers is only one wedge bigger than mine.
It's only one wedge bigger than... But I am a really loose knitter, and I used almost 1,200 yards total.
And get this, guys. I knit mine on size 6s. Hers is on size 5s. I even went up a size. The pattern calls for size 5. I was like, I'll go up a size.
So this is Malabrigo in Machita in the natural colorway, which I got for my birthday. If you watch the birthday episode, you will see it. Here it is knit up. Looks a lot like you would expect. And then... and then I started striping it with some yarn that I dyed myself. It looks like I dyed this with Kool-Aid, but I didn't. I actually used acid dyes. It was really nice. And then I striped it, and then I went to a solid with that yarn that I dyed myself. So, and then the last wedge is also yarn I dyed myself. So it's kind of like this speckled gradient is kind of what I was going for. And I actually ran out of this yarn.
Heavy.
This little, I know. The speckled yarn actually ran out, so my last wedge is not perfect. This is actually one wedge short of the large size. But I'm a really loose knitter, so especially when it comes to Stephen West stuff, I usually should go down a needle size, I think, compared to him, because otherwise my stuff turns out ginormous. And I knit this. I went down a needle size for this. So
I went up.
I know you did.
Like,
no, I knit this on a 4 and you knit it on a 6.
Yeah, but I weighed my yarn as I went. I was like spot on. I'm just a tight knitter.
So I love this. I haven't worn it out in public yet because I haven't woven in the ends. But look at this squishy like mess of like Rainbow Bright yarn. Which, by the way, I was like, oh, Ivy, this reminds me of Rainbow Bright. She's like, what's that? Rainbow Bright, Ivy. Come on. And then I was like, no, I know you know who Rainbow Bright is. And I showed her pictures, like got on my phone and like pulled up images. Nope, nothing. She's like, I have no idea. I've never heard that of my life. Heard of that in my life.
Thanks for making us feel old, kid.
Thanks for making me feel old. But look, is that not Rainbow Bright? Like, come on.
It is.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh, my fingers are like going through the holes. Oh, it was amazing. Anyway, so yeah, 12 days, but I didn't knit on it consistently. There was like one day where I only knit like 2 rows, so.
Yeah, it was not. But it went fast.
It went.
You knit a size bigger, one more wedge than me.
Yeah,
and we
went
finished
sort of fast. It felt like it was going forever.
By the end, I was over it.
Yeah, I was kind of ready for that to be done. But it was really nice knitting for just sitting and watching podcasts. And because I didn't have to look at the pattern, I had it memorized. So that was pretty great. Because I don't like when I'm knitting and I have to pay so close attention I can't even listen to a podcast while I'm doing it. Because knitting and podcasts just go together. IMO. So, anyway, there we go. That's our finished object. So this is taking a long time.
Yeah. So.
All right. Works in progress.
How many do you have?
I got 2.
I got 2 too. Okay, so my first, I'll just do these are kind of, yeah.
We're all waiting.
I know, I'm sorry guys.
You're fine. Oh, I haven't seen these yet.
So if you saw our Instagram, you saw our Christmas socks that we finished. And I loved having a holiday sock. So,
that was super fun.
And I love having a mindless portable knit. As much as I'm not a fan of socks, I love how easy they are to take. So I cast on birthday socks.
Yay!
Now my birthday is not until April, so I have plenty of time.
April 29th, write it down.
Yeah, write it down, guys. Mark your calendars. April 29th. So I decided to cast on some birthday socks. So
are these size 1s?
Those are size, yeah, I'm knitting on size 1 Chai-Goos. And
you should go up to that 2.
I know, I was telling you about that. So I'll tell you guys too. So this yarn is Baron Vola. And it is her bear sock in the vanilla sprinkle colorway. And I bought this a long time ago.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It looks like vanilla with sprinkles. Seriously, the name is perfect. So this yarn though, guys, is really thick. And I cast on 64 stitches, size 1 needles, like I've done all my other, previous 3 pairs of socks. But it's thick.
It's very thick.
It's very thick. So I called Rebecca the other day and I'm like, I ripped this out, but I tried it on and it fits perfectly over my foot. So I think I'm just going to keep going. I just got a thick sock.
Keep talking.
I don't know. And besides, even if I went up a needle size, like to 1.5 or 2s, I wouldn't even know how many to cast on.
But you know what? I love the idea of like a birthday sock or a holiday sock. I kind of want holiday socks, like Valentine's Day socks and Easter socks. Like, I kind of want that. Like, how fun is that?
I love having a holiday sock enough that I don't even mind knitting socks for it. Like, I can't even tell you guys how much I loved my Christmas socks. You should go check.
I'm excited for my Christmas socks next year because we finished them so late that we didn't really get to enjoy them the whole season.
No, but I'll be able to knit another pair for next year.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to wear my other ones for the season and
gosh,
it doesn't matter. Anyways, so I'm super excited. These are my birthday socks. They're a little bit thick, but who doesn't like a thick wool sock?
Dude, those seem like they will last for like ever. They're very.
If you guys haven't tried Baron Vola, you guys should try to catch one of our updates because it is amazing. I'm feeling it in the thing, and it feels really thin. Like, it doesn't feel thick at all, but then it's obviously really pretty thick because here it is. Really thick. Yeah, it's really thick, but I mean, it has a lot of stretch and it stretches over my foot just fine, and it's beautiful. It doesn't feel like it's bulletproof, like, it doesn't feel bulletproof or anything. It's just
No, it's just a thick.
A thick yarn.
Seems like it'll last.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm super excited about my birthday socks. And, you know, I live in Washington. In April, it'll be pouring down rain and like 50 degrees. So thick wool socks are still in.
Like, yeah.
Be good for that.
So I'm going to make birthday socks for me, too. But my birthday's not
You should.
October 29th.
Yeah.
So 6 more months.
More? Oh, past mine, 6 more months.
Past yours. 6 more months past yours. So I'll probably buy my yarn in like August. And start working on that.
I don't know. You should. It's great. So, yeah. There's my birthday socks, guys.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. That was. There's really nothing to say except for you should burn Willow.
So I have a work in progress too, and it also happens to be a sock. See,
because you know we're not sock knitters.
We're not sock knitters, no. But here we are with our socks. Okay, I didn't bring the finished one, so this is actually my second, and this is a sock for my boyfriend, who has requested wool socks from me. And actually, pull that back out because this is 72 stitches around. How much was that?
64.
64. Look at the size difference. This is 72. And they're on size 1s.
It's on size 1s?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 64 on size 1s.
That's the difference in our knitting. Like, just our tension. I actually am pretty sad about the fact that I use size 1s. I wish that I had done size 0s, but I've already knit a whole sock, and I'm not going to rip it all out. He's just going to get some loose socks, but I feel like you can pretty much see through it. It's, like, really thin, see?
Yeah.
So, but this is a Crazy Zauberball in the domino colorway, so it's black and white and gray.
Do you like the Zauberball?
I do. It feels kind of rustic, and I like it. I enjoy the rustic feeling of it, and it feels like, feel it. This is what it feels like in a loose tension.
Like it's like gonna last, though.
Maybe, but it's really thin fabric, because I knit really loose. I should have gone down to size 0s. But I'm knitting a pattern, I don't know what it is, and it's got a sturdy reinforced heel and toe, so I'm using red yarn, red Cascade Heritage, to reinforce the heels and toes. I'm using a slip stitch pattern with a heel flap and gusset. So that's what's going on here.
I love it.
It's actually really fun to knit. I love knitting because the color changes. Super fun. Who doesn't love color changes? It's hard to see that. Anyway, the domino colorway. This is a Christmas gift. I gave him the one sock and then the needles and yarn just like this. And I'm like, well, it's a some assembly required gift.
I like it.
But I didn't want to, okay, but here's the thing. I didn't want to knit 2 and then have them not fit. I would rather I'd rather rip out one sock and redo it to fit than knit a pair that doesn't fit and have to like rip them out and throw them away.
Yeah.
So he got one sock, and then I also gave him a skein of yarn from Lolo Did It in the Lucille colorway from Walking Dead, and he was pretty excited about that. So, and I was like, oh, these are some assembly required gift too. I will knit you socks out of these, and he's super excited. So, those are my socks.
We don't knit socks.
We don't knit socks.
But we have plans for all these socks because...
But he does not like knitted anything. He doesn't like hats. He doesn't like gloves. He doesn't like scarves. He doesn't like anything. So when he said, will you knit me gloves or knit me socks? I was like, well,
you can't say no.
How am I going to say no to that? I feel bad for you working outside in the rain all the time with your cold feet. I guess I'll knit you socks. And he's done a lot of nice things for me too. So I feel like I should probably try to be a nice person. It's hard. It sucks, guys. Send help. And I can't even enter that in like a selfish knit along thing. Like somebody needs to have a knit for a man socks. Challenge yourself to knit 2 pair.
Men knit along. Men's knit along.
A men's knit along. They need to do that.
Or we could do that.
Yeah, but I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it enough to like talk about it all the time. So that's just my most recent work in progress. So I brought it today. I've got other stuff going on too, but I was really monogamous on my dotted rays. I didn't knit anything else from January 1st to January 12th. That was it. Anyway, okay, so you're not, oh, I'm excited about this one. I haven't seen it. Yay!
So, my next, as soon as I cast off my dotted rays, literally the next day, I cast on.
Okay, before we talk about this, because I would love to hear all about it, because I'm super excited, but I just want to say that the lighting makes me look like Uncle Buster. Keep going.
The lighting is really bad. We got some dark shadows coming on. The sun's moving.
I look like I haven't slept in like 6 weeks.
We got like these dark holes. I swear we have eyeballs, guys.
Barely.
That was just scary. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to like raise my eyebrows the entire time. Okay. Please tell me more about your garter goodness.
Okay.
I have to look down my nose at it.
Look. There you go.
It's very nice.
Thank you. You guys. Okay, first of all, I have to show you guys this because Howard for Christmas, he made me progress keepers.
I haven't seen those either.
And stitch markers.
Let me see.
This one just says love. There's other ones that has to have like HSZR, so our initials for the family, and another ones. So, and he even made me a progress keeper that says Mean Girls Knit.
Did he really? That sounds really long.
It is. It's really long. Like there's really. He's
That's
like
really funny.
He's like I know. It's and other ones that say I love you. But yeah, he made one that says Mean Girls Knit. He's like I know it's really long and you'll never really use it, but I see.
Oh my gosh, you should have showed this off earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mean Girls Knit.
I love it.
Isn't
oh my gosh.
So yeah, he stuck these in my stocking. He made me little.
That is so adorable.
Like, he put a project keeper and a stitch marker end on it.
That is so smart.
Yeah.
You could sell those, Howard, in your Etsy shop.
Yeah, in his Etsy shop.
Like, seriously, that was the
I know,
smartest
and then he
thing.
put them in like little
seriously.
bags, like these ones say I love you.
Okay, like, do they all have the Progress Keeper stitch marker option?
No, most of them are stitch markers except for the love ones. The ones
okay, but if it only said, like, knit, and then it had the stitch marker on the other end, how fun would that be?
Right, that would be perfect.
I would use the crap out of that.
Right? There you go.
Okay.
Get to work, Howard. We have a new plan for you. So, yeah. Mean Girls Knit. I don't know. So, I just had to show this off because it was super sweet.
It's about time that guy starts earning some money.
I know, right?
Like with a job or something.
I know, right?
Okay.
So, anyways. Back to... I'm knitting garter goodness, you guys. And I'm sorry. It is the best thing ever.
That is amazing.
Look at this color. This is Madeline Tosh Light. And it is the radness. I know, I had it.
Oh.
The radness. This is one colorway. Oh no, I was being dramatic. It's the radness. This, we're gonna put like me in a skein. Of course, I have that one from Pineapple Yarn.
Yeah,
I don't.
No, the one from Pineapple Yarn is definitely more.
That's more me. But this guy, I got this at Jimmy Bean's Wool over the summer. Oh my gosh,
I love it. I love it.
Okay,
it's amazing.
Can you hold this up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm really excited about this. Okay,
so here's part of it.
Here's part of it. It's 4 colors.
I'll be the mannequin.
Yeah, can you? Well, I need a little bit lower. Okay.
What face do they make?
I don't know. Look up. There you go. So next will be pink, then Edison bulb, then black. Oh my gosh. So Dirty Panther, Edison bulb, and then this is Floral Rose. And it's all Madeline Tosh. But how great is that going to be? Oh, it's just going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be glorious. I am really excited for you to finish this.
And I'm knitting it on size 5s.
You've done a lot. This is a lot of knitting. You just cast this on.
I did. I just cast it on, and I only have 40 grams left, so I'm over halfway done with this.
Have you fed your children?
Children.
Kids, short people running around the house, call you mom. They say things like, I'm hungry.
Oh, that's what that was. I thought it was the TV.
No.
Yes, I fed my kids.
Okay, because that's a lot of knitting.
I fed them, picked them up, took them to school, took them to lessons, everything like that. No. But I don't have to think about it. It is seriously, it's just like the dotted rays. It's just a mindless.
Ridiculously
easy, mindless knit. But I love everything about this. It is great. I want to work on it all the time. But of course, my stitch count hasn't gotten up in like the insane amount yet. It's still a manageable number, so.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
Good for you. It's
so
great.
Excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Oh, and my mom made me a progress bag.
Oh my gosh, she
I feel
totally
like I can't
made
go
these.
a podcast without showing like the.
Look how fun this is.
It's a little
This
mermaid.
is amazing. Okay, so this Little Mermaid, it's got like a denim thing. It's got a drawstring, and the drawstring can be tucked inside. And there's handles. That's
Isn't
amazing.
that the best, guys?
And it's one piece. That's amazing. That's incredible. And it's really well made. Like, that's awesome.
It is. Our mom is such a great sewist.
She's amazing.
Awesome. So she made us
That
all.
is glorious. She made me one too, but I did not bring it. But it's nice and big. It's
No,
like,
it is.
Mine's really tall.
Yeah, yours is a little different shape. A little bit different shape. She made all. She made us all some. They were just all different shapes. But I don't know. I know. I can't do a podcast without giving a shout out to Ma for the great project bag. She was getting tired of my Ziploc.
That was hilarious.
She felt bad, so she made us project bags.
Awesome. I love
our Ma is the best.
You're the best Ma.
Thanks, Ma. I know. She's great. Okay, sorry. I had to
you're fine. You're good.
Have some daughter guilt,
so
I didn't show that off.
My next work in progress is not that interesting yet because I just started it yesterday.
I'm so excited for this.
I am knitting a safety scarf by Stephen West. It's a 2-color cowl. It's like a big long infinity loop. And it's called a safety scarf because one of the colors that he used was Edison bulb or highlighter or whatever yarn he used. I don't know. But it was the bright neon yellow. Like safety, like, you know, going out on your bike or something. But I am doing it in gray, like a charcoal gray. And a white.
What yarn is this?
I'm going to tell you in a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It is Knit Picks Chroma Worsted.
It's so soft.
It is ridiculously soft. It's a single ply. But instead of doing 2 colors, I'm going to make it a 4-color cowl. And I'm going to modify the pattern just slightly because, here's the honest to God truth. You're supposed to knit like 83 rows of seed stitch. Am I going to count 83 rows of seed stitch? No, I am not. I'm going to go till it looks like it's about 83 rows of seed stitch or about as long as I want it to be. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's about half done with the seed stitch. You know, like, I don't know.
No, who wants
Why would I count that? I'm not counting that, sorry.
Thug life. That'll be okay.
But I have more than enough yarn. You only need like 600 or something, 600 yards, and I have like 750. Or I have 800.
The sun's all moved on us.
But this is the chroma, probably that you're thinking of when you think of Knit Picks chroma. And this is in the colorway Get Your Neon. And it's all wrapped up like this, all crappy-like, because I knit a range shawl by Andrea Mowry, I think. And I got all the way to like the last 2 inches of that shawl, and I was like, this is hideous. And it wasn't the shawl. I wanted to knit another one. It's just the colors weren't working. But the range shawl, I think it's Drea Renee Knits.
I don't know who it's by.
Range shawl. It's a worsted weight shawl, maybe DK. It is glorious. It's made for 4 colors. And it's got some brioche in it, so it's super fun. And I knit it. I loved it. I loved everything about it. But at the very end, I was just like, I don't like all the colors that I picked together in this way. But I'm gonna knit another one.
Yeah, it
is a beautiful pattern.
It was beautiful. I remember you showing it to me. It was beautiful. It just it was not a good. The colors did not.
It wasn't working.
Marry well with that yarn.
It wasn't the way that I imagined it. It was a little bit. I don't know. It needs more of a gradient.
Yeah.
Or neutral, softer colors. I don't know what the problem is. I'm gonna pick more.
But this is gonna be great for the safety scarf, though.
Heck yeah, I know. So it's kind of at an angle, but then it's gonna go. It goes straight, and it's gonna go straight across for like forever, and then it goes to another angle, and then you sew them up the side.
That's awesome.
So it's gonna be great. I think it's one of his most underrated patterns. I don't think people. It's only got like 100 or something. But it's a paid pattern on Ravelry. Stephen West safety scarf. And it's going by really fast. It's only 51 stitches. Probably shouldn't have said all that. I mean 54. Or 56. Or 12. I guess now you don't know.
Ever. It's great. It's a great pattern.
I think I've pretty much given it all away now.
There you go. Well.
No, I haven't.
No, it's got a lot of different patterns on it.
It's got a lot of different things going on. It's kind of like a
love the safety scarf. I don't know. This is like Stephen West season for me because and everything I want to knit is Stephen West.
And I'm really excited because Flame and Fiber. Is that the name of the podcast? Fiber and Flame?
Barbara doing the Stephen West knitogram?
No, she's doing a Knit From Your Library. Buy the book. Knit along. I think it's Flame and Fiber. Barbara. She's awesome. And she's doing a podcast, or she's doing a knit along where you have to knit anything from like a book or something that you've purchased a while back. Something you own. And, you know, so I was like, oh, I already have the safety scarf because I made it once already. Well, like this much of it before I realized it just wasn't working with the yarn. I don't want to talk about that yarn. I'm not going to call it out by name, but it had some yak in it.
Yeah, yak.
And, I don't know.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. That yak.
It was some yak yarn, but it looked and felt like if you were to never shower and then shave your head and make yarn with it. Like, it was like a really dirty person's hair. And it was brown like a person's hair, and it had like skin flakes.
And then it had these little white specks, and it was like
skin flakes. It was pretty gross. It was really greasy and oily, and it was bad.
It was not.
It's still caked up. I might use it if I wash it or something, but I've felt other yak yarn, and I've knit with other yak yarn, and it was not that way.
No, because I got yak from the same place, but mine was navy blue, and it was great. I knit the beeswax hat out of it. In fact, I was wearing it earlier today, and it was great. Honestly, if you guys are thinking about knitting the beeswax hat, honestly, I didn't have it in my notes because I wasn't thinking about bringing it up. But if you Ravelry search beeswax hat,
was it beeswax or beehive?
It's beeswax. But it was a beautiful pattern. I highly recommend it. It's just a gorgeous cabled geometric. It was great, and mine was great, and I wear it. It was wonderful, and it's the same brand, but it's navy, and yours is brown.
Mine's brown, and it's a beautiful brown. But I swear, if I made a hat out of it and wore it, people would think I just didn't bathe.
It looks like the yak had dandruff.
So the yak that it came from may have had mange. I'm just saying, it was bad. It was bad. Anyways, but I was like, I'll mix it with a white and make a safety. No.
It looked like a 70s.
Maybe I should...
Like a bad 70s or something like that. That chocolate brown, like, polyester pants with the white shirt.
It was bad. It was bad. Maybe I'll make a yak amigurumi with it, like a yak stuffy.
There you go.
A stuffed yak.
I think somebody...
It'll be really realistic.
God. Somebody's doing, like, a stuffy along. Like but I think it's an all year thing, like a 12 months.
Yeah, who's doing stuffy along? I don't know. You know who knit along I want to join in my dreams? I'll tell you. Round Rabbit is doing a blanket knit along where you have to knit it out of that Noro. Mm-hmm. Every night in my dreams, I join that knit along. I don't actually have any.
Sorry, Nancy, I can't afford. You can't afford to do your knit along.
I can't afford a blanket's worth.
I can't afford a blanket's worth of Noro.
It's actually not that expensive. It's only like $7 a skein. $8 a skein, something like that.
And how many skeins?
A lot. But you could theoretically just start joining, because you only knit them piece by piece and then join them together like scarves. I've been thinking about doing it, honestly. I don't know.
I don't know. Everything I've knit is like been completely from stash, guys. Like
we're kind of broke.
My garter, I'm recovering from, I'm going to be real, I'm just recovering from Christmas. So my garter goodness, all of that is from stash. My dragonfly fibers, that was all from stash. Like, I'm just...
We are busting
It's January. It's knit your stash, man. I don't know what to tell you. But I am so excited because Janine from Yarn and You Girl
is doing a Stephen West knit
and
along.
It starts February 1st, but whips are allowed. So I was like, I felt really confident casting out my garter guns because I still have 3 full skeins to go through.
I should save my safety scarf.
Yeah,
and just start knitting socks for Neil until February.
There you go. Whips are allowed.
Whips are allowed.
So, and it's going from, oh my gosh, February 1st through March
31st?
31st?
I don't know.
15th? I'm not sure, but, because she has this book, and she just did a giveaway for this book, and that's kind of what kicked off the whole,
she did.
The whole thing. But anyways, so I'm super excited because
she's got a great podcast, though.
Yeah, you guys should check her out. She's so cute.
Yarn and You Girl. She is cute. She's adorable.
She is. So... But anyways, so West Knits, she's doing that, so I'm going to enter mine in that.
Okay, so...
Do that with her.
We need to start wrapping things up. And there's a couple things else I want to talk about, so what else do you got?
Those are really the 2 major things I finished and the 2 major things I'm knitting on. I have a few other things in the, but I haven't picked them up for a while, so I wanted to keep everything current.
I do that to my kids all the time. When they just stare at me like they want something, I just start making faces at them until they
That's it. All I have is like
away.
Dream knitting. I have knitting plans for my next stuff, but that's it.
Oh, dream knitting. Okay, I want to make like a bunch of... Oh, we already did that. I want to make a bunch of worsted weight shawls. That is my spirit animal when it comes to knitting. It's like giant worsted weight shawls. I need to make more of those. Helen Stewart is doing a mystery knit along. Yes. I kind of want to do that. I'm a sucker for mystery knit alongs.
I haven't looked into that yet, though. Is it fingering or worsted?
I think it's fingering. I'm not sure. I don't think she's released a lot of details yet.
No.
But she did one Mystery Knit Along last year, and it was really gorgeous. And I kind of want to do it. I don't know, because I got so much other stuff going on. I need to knit a sweater. I think I'm going to knit Enchanted Mesa.
Are you?
With Stephen West out of some Knit Picks gloss, because I have a bunch of it. Because I knit my kids' Christmas sweaters, and then I'm going to use the scraps to make a sweater for myself. Like a memory sweater.
The Enchanted Mesa is nice.
It's
I want to knit
low
that.
armpits, though, which is kind of weird. Yeah. So I don't know.
But I saw it in the short sleeve version without somebody who didn't knit the sleeves at all, so it was kind of...
Yeah.
And that kind of worked for me.
What do you got?
This is just dream knitting.
We'll just show it off anyway.
For Christmas.
It's so soft.
Yeah. When my dad when he bought the West Knits book, he also bought me a skein of Republic of Wool in the Parfait colorway DK weight yarn.
Oh, it's so squishy.
It is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. It is ridiculous.
So I hopped online to Twisted website and I bought one more skein because, guys, I am going to knit the Excuse Me shawl with it.
Oh, it's going to be so great.
Isn't it? I don't have the other yarn for it, so this is just kind of my dream knitting.
Maybe
but
purple.
it's going to be coming up on my needles.
Because there's purple sparkles? Maybe purple?
I'm not a purple person.
I know you are. What about green? What about that green?
Yeah, green. That would be pretty.
Look at that green.
Get kind of like a limey green.
Yeah.
Like all yeah.
Like
so I haven't decided what color I'm going to...
It's great.
Do with it, but you guys, this is coming on my needles. This is my dream knitting, my Excuse Me Stephen West shawl.
And you have the pattern actually.
And now the pattern, yep, because it's in my book. So I'm like, yay!
And when you buy the book, you get the ebook. So we have it in our Ravelry library too.
I love this.
Which is great.
But yeah, so I gotta get through another one. But this is my up and coming dream knitting. When I recover from Christmas, I'm gonna buy the colors. So hopefully,
love it.
Hopefully soon. But that's really it, guys.
That's all we got. So
don't have a whole lot.
I got some podcast love. Is that a thing people do?
Well, we are now podcast love.
Okay. I have been watching a lot of podcasts lately. I've been trying to find new ones, but I'm not very good at taking notes during people's podcasts. So a lot of times people say like, "Oh, check out so and so," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that," and then forget. I don't know, and then I have to go back and watch the episode and. I'm a mess. I'm a wreck. Don't listen to me. But anyway, podcast love. These are people you should not be like me and go check out. Actually do it. Because, I can't believe I just said that. I should probably edit that out.
Just roll it.
Okay, but a lot of times, it takes me a while. Like with the name recognition. People say, oh, check out so-and-so. And then somebody else says, go check out so-and-so. And I'm like, I'm going to do that this time. Alright. Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters. I have notes, guys. Yeah, it's great paper. Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters. They are two sisters from Canada who have started a podcast. They're only 2 episodes in, but they're a lot like me and you, I think. They're funny, and they have they knit, and they have kids, and I don't know. I wrote something about them.
Go check them out, guys.
2 episodes from Canada. I am the worst shout-outer ever, and that's not going to change. In fact, I'm going to post on Instagram that we made this episode and then tag people in it, and they're going to cringe and be like, oh God, why? Stop doing that.
We're going to get messages like, please don't spread the love.
Stop with your love spreading because you're just so bad at it. Anyway, but they reminded me a lot. I watched both episodes. I went back and watched the first one after that. And they design stuff. Cozy Up Knits is their design company. They design things like these really awesome stranded mittens. You haven't seen it, so you don't know. Anyway, a Lefty Knitter podcast with Aquila. This is a podcast that I knew about for a while, but I didn't check it out until recently. But she's got like 3 episodes up, and she's from Baltimore, and and her husband is into natural dyeing, and he's really funny. Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched one. I'm not
the 3rd one. Anyway, he's really into natural dyeing, and he's really funny. Like. He kept calling the organic grocery store the overpriced grocery store, and I totally laughed out loud. But Aquila's great too. I thought that she was really natural in front of the camera. Yeah. And it seemed like she'd been podcasting her entire life.
Yeah.
And she's great, and she makes beautiful things. So, there's another one, a Lefty Knitter. She knits left-handed, which I didn't ever think about being a problem for left-handed people, but apparently it's like different.
It's a struggle.
I don't know. And then the Whiny Sisters. But not like whining like wine.
Oh, I've heard of that. I have not watched that one, but I've heard of them. I've heard great things about their podcast.
They're a lot like me and you, except with wine.
I love wine.
We should drink on our podcast. Why don't we drink? I don't drink at all. I have 5 kids. You'd think I would drink. I would, people are always like, oh, I have one. Well, I guess one kid. I would probably drink more. But no, dude. Why don't I drink more?
Because we're old. Hangovers suck. I don't know.
We're old. Alcohol's expensive when you have 5 kids. That's why.
There you go.
I didn't have kids. I probably drunk all the time. It's great, but I got kids, and they're always wanting stuff. Dinner. Gosh,
right? Just let me sit here and knit and drink.
Oh my god! Okay, you know what happened to me yesterday?
What?
I'm gonna lose about 50 subscribers just by this. But seriously, I was doing all my chores, cleaning up every morning or all morning long, and doing everything I needed to do. And then I finally got around to knitting, and I sat on my couch and I turned my heated blanket all the way up to high because I'm old and I love it. Got it for Christmas. It's the greatest thing. I've lived under that thing. Anyway, so I sit down, I grab my needles, and my little girl, my 1-year-old, crawled past me, and she smelled, god-awful. I had to get up and change her diaper, and I'm like, oh, why? I just want to knit. Oh, my knitting time is seriously...
Those darn kids got
They get in the way of my knitting time. I'm trying to selfish knit here, alright? I got Stephen West stuff to make. I got knit-alongs.
The nerve of your 1-year-old.
Anyway, but I've been watching lots of podcasts. Those 3 are ones you all should go check out, in addition to all the ones that we've mentioned. Round Rabbit, David Dog Dare.
Oh.
If you're not watching David Dog Dare, first of all, you're wrong.
I was just about to say that.
Second of all,
you're wrong. Just go
watch David Dog Dare. Get a knitting project, sit down, and watch him or listen. He doesn't show a lot of knitting.
But you know what? I love listening to him. He's so interesting. His voice is so he's
got a nice voice. It's easy to listen to. And then he talks about really interesting things and shares his perspective. And he thinks about things in a really interesting way. He's really deep.
He is. Seriously, he's my knitting buddy. I turn on and I just...
Every time he
new episode
up, I'm on it.
Can you just put one up every day, David?
Right?
Can we just...
Please?
So I can just listen to you?
Because we have... I know, I hate when I'm knitting.
I'm sad when it's over, because I'm like, oh, I gotta wait a whole nother week before I...
Yeah.
He's just... I don't know. If you haven't watched it...
If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's great. It's great.
He's gonna be doing a...
knit-along. He's doing knit-along.
He hasn't released a whole lot yet. Life and Color.
Color and Life.
Color and Life. I always get that mixed up. Sorry, guys. So, Color and Life... Podcast.
It's another podcast. It's a mother-son podcast. And I really enjoy watching them and listening to them because they talk about things other than their works in progress. I mean, like we do. They actually talk about topics related to knitting and art, and it's actually fascinating because they share a lot of opinions about the craft that you don't necessarily hear on other podcasts. And
they're another one that's really easy to knit too and listen. Because it is a lot of conversation. They kind of split it in two. So they have conversation, and then they have where they show their knitting. But they're joining together to do a podcast too, which I'm really excited about that one.
And they just did, Color and Life just did a Fearless Fiber make-along where you were supposed to make your own stuff creatively. And I wanted to do it so bad. But gosh, all my Christmas knitting, I just didn't have a chance. No time. Honestly. And I felt really bad about that because I really wanted to do it. I had some ideas. Maybe next time. Somebody will do something and I'll join in. I don't know. But I got some serious FOMO over here.
Oh.
You're missing out. Acronyms. I speak in acronyms. I've done that a couple times today on the podcast.
I don't know. Anyway, so I'm so excited for those upcoming. Go check out those podcasts. I'm excited about the upcoming knit-alongs that are coming.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
We missed you guys.
I don't think anybody's watching anymore.
Probably not.
On forever.
It is. Well, it's been a long time. But we missed you guys. We're glad
we did miss you guys. We're going to try to get together more often. Now that the holidays have... Yeah, we'll get together more often and hopefully get slightly better than this. Yeah. Better lighting so I don't look like Uncle Fester.
I know. My room is not good.
Seriously.
It's not
that is an Uncle Fester look.
It's not... I know.
Like our eyes are just black holes.
It's not an ideal. Just look
Hopefully you're knitting and you're not listening.
You're like, oh my god, those people with their noses in the air. Those mean girls.
I know.
That's me knitting with my nose up.
That's how you knit?
That's how I knit.
That is how she knits. With her nose up in the air, just like that.
Alright. It's time to end this.
It is time to end this.
Alright.
We are done. Signing
Thanks,
off.
guys. We'll see you later. Have a good one.